Well, that was deeply unsatisfying way to end a close game. And I just wanted to give some quick thoughts. I'm going to have some bigger breakdowns of some of the great things. There's a lot of really good things the Fever did and some of the areas for improvement to follow up this video. But I just want to give my first initial reactions and also maybe, be a ray of positivity, I guess. And the first thing I'll say is that we can complain about the refs. We're going to complain about the refs all year. You can complain about them every game. 32 three throws to 15. It's tough to deal with. And it's been consistent. And yes, there were some calls that should have been called, should have been missed, yada, yada. I think the reality is just the environment we're playing in. And we have to be better. And players got to play through it, they got to adapt to it. A similar thing happens with playoff basketball, especially the WNBA, where they're going to call less stuff and you're going to have to play through contact. And at least from that mindset, there's some lessons to be learned there. And I think that we have to not have, if we're up 12, up 10 against the champs, we can't let off the gas and we can't let them get back in the game and we can't let it be close enough that the refs can decide the outcome. And that's just the environment we're playing in. Same thing is this is game 4. This is game 4 of the year. We were 1-9, 1-8 last year. Didn't look like we had any prospects, to be frank. And the off season, there's little time for the team to practice, to gel. There's a ton of new pieces brought in. Juwana Bonner's still trying to find her role, her place in the scheme. And I think that there's just a lot of things there's a lot of room for improvement that is still in front of us. And the simple fact that we are like 2, maybe 3 possessions, if you want to get finicky with it, away for being 4-0, including beating the champs. So I think that perspective is important. If we are having heartbreak in the playoffs or the finals, then we can talk about it. But this is game 4. I'm not going to be too down. I'm not going to doomsay. There's no need to not give the players and this coaching staff room to develop and grow, because I believe they will. And 2-2 is good. How close the games are, it sucks to lose those games. It sucks to lose when you had the champs on the ropes. But we're going to get them back. Just like we did to Atlanta. The team's going to learn. They're going to grow. These are good growth moments. And really, there are a lot of good things. That third quarter was beautiful. That third quarter is the perfect picturesque idea of what this team wants to be. A lot of energy, great defense, great offensive transition basketball, great ball movement. Clark hitting her threes at the buzzer, finding her shot finally. Thank goodness. All those things are great. And Aliyah Boston is great. I think that something needs to be said, and that I love Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is one of the reasons that brought me into being a Fever fan. And her passing, her playmaking, her shooting, everything, all the intangibles, she is amazing. She's going to be one of the GOATs when all is said and done. But Aliyah Boston, intrinsically linked to Caitlin Clark, that two-woman game is so strong, is the best player on the team right now. She is. She's the most consistent. She does the most on defense. She does the most for us rebounding. She was better than Jonquel Jones in this game, just statistically, straight up. You can go line by line, rebounds, assists, whatever it is. She's better than JJ, except maybe on personal fouls, I guess. I mean, Aliyah Boston is always going to get the foul. She's always going to be leading that stat. But I think the reality is you have to be excited in the fact that we have both Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston on this team. And it's weird when you have a blip like the last game because of foul trouble. But Caitlin Clark, struggling with the 10 turnovers. It's just what it is. You can't blame them all on teammates. Some of them are being forced. Some of them aren't super great passes. And the Liberty are a good defensive team. They're tall. They're long. They can clog passing lanes. They can steal your passes. And that's just the way it is. And a lot of fouls Caitlin Clark made in this game too, she had 5 personals, was because she got beat or someone got beat. And so she had to make the foul to stop the easy open basket. And in those instances, that's that's what you have to do, but it's a sign that you're also getting beat on defense. And there were some good stuff from all the players all around. But when you come with the champs, you can't miss. Can't miss. It's the little things. It's the Sophie Cunningham fighting Natasha Howard for the out of bounds and then throwing into her. It's a funny moment. We can laugh about it, but it's the little things. It's the, Kelsey Mitchell feeling like she has to throw up a three and kind of almost like zone out of whatever is happening in the offense. The ball movement stops. She takes a three, she misses. We don't get the big moment. We don't get the dagger. We don't get the momentum play when really all we have to do is tap in putts. We should be tapping as many putts as possible. Ball movement, find the easiest shot, take the highest percentage, easiest shot when you're up by 12. And we didn't do it. And so it's on us that we lost. You can say whatever you want about the refs. There are tons of examples. You can talk about challenges. All of those are valid things to say. But to me, ideally with this team, they're to learn from it. They're not gonna be able to control the refs and how they call the game. Yes, maybe they call a challenge, but we've already seen how ridiculous that has been this year. You might not even have any challenges by the end of the game. But the reality is like don't let it be close. If you get the lead, find a way to just keep playing good basketball. It's tough. It's a tough league. Teams are really talented. Jonquel Jones going on her crazy run in the fourth quarter. She ended with 26 points, but she had like 9 of the first fourth quarter points. She had a beautiful like fadeaway, and then she hit back-to-back threes. It's just like, I mean, there's not a lot you can do with that. So I think that definitely there's stuff to learn. There's good things to take away, but still early days in the season. There's a lot of plays that I want to break down that show the great ball of movement, that show how good Aliyah Boston really is. Like she just has every shot she has. And I think that again, the more we leverage her, the more we leverage CC, the more we leverage the other strengths of our team, the more we develop them and build them into the system, the better. And we'll be off to the races. And we'll be, this is a good thing that we are losing barely by 2 points to this team after being in a hole against this team with how they scored like 30 plus points or whatever in the first quarter. Um and like I think like 50 or 60 in the first half. It was brutal. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things to learn from this. I think that social media is probably gonna, just a forewarning, there's gonna be a lot of Caitlin Clark got a triple double stuff because of the 10 turnovers. Prepare yourself mentally for that ridiculousness. Um, but yeah, the Clark and the team will bounce back. They're gonna be so good. Like we're gonna remember this, and it's gonna suck. But again, positive thinking. 2 plays away from being 4 now, including against the champs. We're championship contenders. That's the spot that we're building into, and it's very early days. The difference between Fever's last year and the first half of the season, the back half of the season was night and day. With how much talent this team has, it's going to be championship contender level, and we're already at a good spot, even despite all the mistakes. And I trust in this coaching staff. I believe in this coaching staff. I believe in the players that we have. And so we're just going to have to give them room to develop and learn. They're going to learn from moments like this. So if you're in the US, have a happy Memorial Day. Go enjoy yourself. Hit up a barbecue. Get with friends and family. Have a good day. And with all that said, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.